Trump went too far, mocking Obama's past and throwing old accusations into the air. But Obama didn't react the way many expected. Instead, he answered with one question that flipped the entire room upside down. The morning in Washington, D.C. began like any other. A cool wind moved across the marble steps of the Capitol as cameras were set up outside. Reporters stood shoulder to shoulder, waiting for something historic to unfold. Inside the hearing room, the atmosphere was tense long before the clock struck 10. Senators, staffers, and journalists filled every seat. Their attention focused on two chairs placed across from each other in the center of the room. Barack Obama entered first. He walked calmly, carrying a thin folder of notes. His presence alone quieted the room. He placed the papers on the desk and looked straight ahead, composed and thoughtful. Moments later, the doors opened again. Donald Trump entered with a brisk stride, chin slightly lifted. He nodded to a few people in the room before taking his seat across from Obama. The air seemed to grow heavier. Two former presidents. Two completely different visions of America. Now facing each other directly. The moderator cleared his throat and began. Today's hearing is about the current state of America, its progress, its challenges, and its future. Obama nodded politely. Trump leaned back in his chair, arms folded. The moderator turned to Obama. Mr. Obama, you have the floor. Obama adjusted the microphone and took a small sip of water. When he spoke, his voice was calm but clear. Before we talk about policies or numbers, he said, I want to talk about something simple. Honesty. The single word seemed to echo in the hall. We can't fix what we refuse to face, Obama continued. And we can't call ourselves strong if we hide our weaknesses behind slogans. He paused, letting the silence settle. America is still the greatest nation on earth. But greatness isn't something we inherit. It's something we prove again and again. He spoke about families working harder while falling behind. About rising costs, healthcare struggles, and the growing gap between the wealthy and the working class. We keep telling ourselves everything is fine, he said. But that's like a doctor telling a patient they're healthy without running the tests. We can't heal what we refuse to admit is broken. The room listened in complete silence. Obama talked about unity, responsibility, and leadership. Leadership isn't about pretending problems don't exist, he said. It's about having the courage to face them honestly. When he finished, the room remained still for a long moment. Then the moderator turned toward Trump. Trump leaned forward toward the microphone. Well, he said with a smirk, that was quite a speech. Very emotional. But completely wrong. A few quiet laughs came from the back of the room. You talk about problems, Trump continued. I talk about results. His voice grew stronger with each sentence. When I came into office, the economy was falling apart. Now jobs are up, businesses are thriving, and the stock market is breaking records. He spoke quickly, confidently. You paint America like it's broken, he said. It's not broken. It's thriving. Trump gestured toward the audience. People want hope. They want confidence. And that's exactly what I've given them. The room felt like it was holding two completely different versions of reality. Finally, Obama leaned toward his microphone again. His voice remained steady. Mr. President, he said, leadership isn't a performance. It's not about declaring victory while ignoring the scoreboard. The sentence landed quietly but heavily. You say America is thriving, Obama continued. But many families are still one paycheck away from losing everything. He didn't raise his voice. You can't fix problems by pretending they don't exist. Trump's expression hardened. Then suddenly his tone sharpened. You talk about honesty, Trump said. But were you honest with the American people? What about your birth records? Gasps spread through the room. The old conspiracy had returned. But Obama didn't react. We're not here to relive conspiracy theories, he said calmly. We're here to talk about America. Trump leaned closer to the microphone. Maybe start by being honest about yourself. The room grew tense. Obama looked at him for a long moment. Calm. Focused. Then he spoke. If you want to talk about honesty, let's start with something simple. Trump frowned. What does that mean? Obama tilted his head slightly. Is Ivanka Barron's mother? Yes or no? The question landed like thunder. For a moment, no one seemed to understand what had just happened. Then the room fell completely silent. Trump stiffened. That's a ridiculous question, he snapped. It's a simple question, Obama replied quietly. Yes or no? Trump shifted in his chair. This hearing is about America, not my family. Obama nodded. Exactly. And how a leader handles the truth, especially uncomfortable truth, says everything about leadership. The tension in the room was unbearable. Trump's face flushed red. You're crossing a line, he said sharply. Obama remained calm. What's beneath any of us, he said softly, is pretending we stand for truth while running from it. No one spoke. Trump opened his mouth, then stopped. For the first time, he looked uncertain. Finally, he pushed his chair back. This is a waste of time, he said loudly. He stood up, straightened his jacket, and walked out of the room. The heavy doors slammed behind him. Obama stayed seated for a moment. Then he leaned toward the microphone one last time. The truth, he said quietly, has a way of waiting. It doesn't disappear just because someone walks away. The hearing was over. But the moment would be replayed again and again. Not because of the speeches, but because of one question. A question that revealed something deeper about power, truth, and the silence that follows when someone refuses to answer.